I'm not, there I am. Hello, everybody. Let's try this one more time. Take two. Oh boy. Okay, so um, this is going to be talking a little bit about a Hotel California. I'm going to show a video. I might have to jump off of YouTube. There should be links down there for Rumble because of the lyrics and the interpretation coming from us. And I do have a phone number up here, and I'll repeat this a couple of times to you guys. That you could call in and give me your interpretation because I want to hear your voice and just see where this goes. You're going to be helping me test this out, if you will. And I'm not quite sure if it's going to work because the way I did this in the past, when you called in, I had to have two computers running. My husband ran the radio is actually what it is. It's a radio, but we had speakers and you'd be able to pick it up through the mic that way. But this time around, what I'm trying to do is, because Windows finally got their shit together, you can have two audios at the same time, and the one audio is going to be you calling in, and this is a number down below here if you could see this, and also me talking and everybody being able to hear you. So everybody that's here right now, you might have to jump over to Rumble to give me your interpretation. So I'm not sure. I don't want to get kicked off of this. I just got this channel back. And Richard is basically saying I'm coming in loud. All right, let me just jump over to my, I'm going to connect to my radio here and just see where this goes. And
welcome to Blog Talk Radio.
Can you hear that? I think I got to punch in a number here.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
Okay, let's see here.
Welcome to Blog Talk Radio.
All right. I thought that I'd be able to just connect with you guys.
To start your show now, press 1 to hear important.
Okay. All right, can anybody hear that?
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, it says I am live. So if anybody would like to, I can. All right, there we go. I guess we're going live here. If you guys call this number, I'm actually going to be able to see you guys in queue, put you on hold, and then I'm going to actually start the video, but I want to see if it actually comes through. So you're helping me help you guys in the near future because I want to hear your voice, your vibration, your frequency. It's so important these days. And I'm also going to show a video here. I'm going to stream this over to you guys. It's somebody that is talking about what does Hotel California really mean, and he's collected enough information, but not enough, and I wanted to know what your interpretation of all of this is. So also, Dragonfly, yeah, I can see you have your wings down there, or otherwise known as the wrench. Just to let you know, I did finally figure that out yesterday. So if anybody is, let me put the number up here. I've got to remove these. This is a number 563-999 3717 if you want to call in and just say hi. And if you guys out there can actually help me by telling me if you can hear the caller through the setup that I have set up right now. So that's basically where I'm going with this right now, and we're still going to talk about the movie. So let's see here. Again, the phone number is 563-999-3717. If anybody, you could just say hello. Say where you're from, and let me start this movie and see if I can handle all of this together. Oh, I'm wondering if the movie is going to interfere. So my social media site, okay, so let me just do this. I see Richard's already jumping on the bandwagon here. Hey Richard, why don't you give us a call? He's talking about they couldn't cut it with their steel knives, but they just couldn't kill the beast. Yeah, and I think some of that stuff also there is going to be discussed. So I'm going to see if I can just jump through. I don't want to show the video because it may interfere with an extra audio that I have set up. So let me cut that out there and just kind of move through this and see what we have. So the interpretation, the lyrics of the song with the traditional or classic, I'm reading this by the way. The themes is of a conflict, darkness and light, good and evil, youth and age, spiritual versus secular, and I guess they could say it's a song about loss of innocence. I kind of got that it's all about Hollywood. And let me just put Richard's stuff up there. If anybody wants to call in, please call into 563-999-3717. I'm not sure if you guys are trying to call in and if it's not working. But it tells me that a list of callers will appear when people call into the episode. So let's see what we have here. Here's what Richard is saying. Okay, let's see what else we have. There might be somewhat of a delay here. I'm going to go over to Rumble and see if anybody is out in Rumble. I hope I didn't lose Rumble. I might have lost Rumble. I thought I saw Hula Hoop was out there. Hey, Hula Hoop, how are you doing? Yeah, I do. I see Hula Hoop. I see Bree says have Mike Penny on. Let's see. I don't know if I'm going to have. I'm bringing back some people slowly, more spiritual. Boone's Bike 13 says things are getting exciting. Yes, they are. And Hula Hoop says she is listening while driving. Be careful out there. I'm just going to read your comments. If anybody, please, if you want to call in, please do so. I'm wondering if I have to have a headset on here. I'm thinking that I might have to have a headset, but we'll find this out here in a minute. Hotel California is the name of the file that has all the info in it about McCain. He has a senator's son. He's got a special treatment. It's all in the song. Yeah, and I'm gonna go with my Southern lifestyle and friends. I do believe I resonate with what is on the screen here. I've got a call coming in, and let me just see if I can try to grab this here. I hope I'm doing this right. Hello, caller 702, area code 702.
Hello, it's Celeste.
Oh, well, hello, Celeste. Let me turn this all the way up. You guys, if you're there, can you tell me if you can hear her? You have to say something.
Oh, I'll talk. So I'll just let you know that when I called in, I sat on, it's kind of a hold where you hear the show, and then finally it connected me.
Wow, that must have, how long did you have to wait there? I see it says one caller. Yeah. So
probably about 30 seconds to a minute.
Okay, so if anybody wants to call in 563-999-3717. Also, can you guys hear this caller? Her name is Celeste, and if this works, she's going to be on the show tonight. I'm interviewing her. We're going to take calls. We're going to talk about some really awesome stuff, and this is the reason why I'm actually testing this. So if you guys, can you hear her? Can you say something else?
I don't know what to say. I just want to hear if they can hear me, I guess.
Apparently somebody says that they can only hear, they're hearing the show through the call in line, and I'm a Starfish says yes. So I'm wondering.
Okay, I'm the one that said I heard the show through the call in line, and then Starfish said they can hear us.
Okay. Woo, I think it's working. So this is Celeste.
Yeah, so just tell them to be patient, because they're just going to hear the show for just a little bit. So just stay on the line, and then eventually it will connect them.
There you go. Thank you so much. And so I'm going to move through. I'm not going to show the video here because I think it's going to take up another, you're on the highway, right? I only got 2 lanes, and I think if I show a video, it's probably going to take up a 3rd line and knock out something, so I don't want to go there. But yeah, this is Josie Stevens says loud and clear. Fantastic. I am so happy.
Yay.
You know, back in the day, 4 years ago, you like I said, I had to have my husband working the Blog Talk radio, and then me, and then we had all these microphones and speakers, and oh God, it was crazy for 2 old people to do this. Okay, so
I do have a question. I have the Rumble show going on my laptop, and I called in on my phone. Is there any disturbance? I have both going right now.
I hear a little bit of the background there, but not much. I don't know if any of the other callers are hearing that right now.
Yeah, so maybe just tell them to mute if they're on their laptop, mute their laptop.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you. We'll take them through everything if they're, we're going to be doing this for all the shows in the near future. We want to hear what you guys are saying, and I appreciate you guys helping me right now learn this here. And while we're kind of testing this, we're going to talk about Hotel California. So a lot of people should be familiar with it. I think the song was like in 1977, right? And so there you go. If you wanna hang up, you can hang up, Celeste.
Yeah, I'm gonna hang up now. I'm gonna
Okay.
hang up.
All right. Let me
All
put
right.
that number back
Bye.
up. Bye bye.
Soon.
All right. So if anybody has anything to say here about Hotel California, the truth of it, what you believe your truth is, and that's the thing right now. We're all trying to figure out what is the truth, who's truth, who's speaking their truth, right? And so there you go. So I've got a hello MJ. I have to remember that every time I click on what you guys are putting in the chat, I lose my phone number. So 563-999-39 3717. So we're talking about the Eagles Hotel California a little bit there, and the lyrics. Some people say it was. Okay, so I'm going to read a little bit about it by the Eagles. What is it really all about? This is coming from. I can't remember his name, but he says a lone guy who's almost hypnotized by the monotony of driving in the desert and seamlessly endless journey. He's dead tired. He sees the lights of some of the refuge in the distance and he pulls in for the night. This is where he enters the weird world. People are freaked by the character and is quickly spooked by the feeling of being caught in a disturbing web from which he may never escape. Now, I'm going to interpret that. I've got to be very careful because I'm on the YT here. And also, I'm calling it the Rumble Roars so that YT, I think I'm psyching it out. I have no idea. But in any case, yeah, so my interpretation of that is that he's talking about once you get into Hollywood, once you pull in, you pull in for the night, and let's say you're one hit, you do a one hit, they basically will pull you in, right? They'll pull you in, and there are freaky characters out there, freaky characters that will, approach you. They'll spook you. You're not sure what the hell is going on. You just know that there's a weird disturbance in the web. Now he's referencing a web. So I'm getting this, let's see here. I'm trying to get over there. So I'm just going to read the comments. I want to leave the phone number up there. Richard Pickle is saying, spot on, Janine. Yeah, you may never escape. I think once you sell something there, you guys, it's deep within us. I'm being very careful. Sounds like. All right, I'm back to this. I can't believe it. So that's one of the things I wanted to talk about, right? And this is let's see what else we have here. So another verse here is, on a dark desert highway, cool wind in my hair, warm smells of colitis rising up through the air. Up ahead in the distance I saw a shimmering light. My head grew heavy and my sights grew dim. I had to stop for the night. Come on, you guys. What does this mean? I gotta jump over to Rumble. Call in. I don't want to see your comments. And I don't want to see the community chat. I want to hear from you because I need to test one more caller. So please call in 563-999-3717. And my dog is saying, please call in. Oh, interesting. Let me. The puppies are playing. Oh, there is somebody that has a standard hotel. Look at the screen, please. Children never left or escaped. So on a dark desert highway, cool wind in my ear. Let's just break this down sentence by sentence. Hey, Bella. They're really playing. So let's. Where's Frizz? Give me the toy. Give me the toy. Sorry about that, you guys. It is real here. It is real here in my home. All right. So anybody want to call in? 563-999-3717. My co-host for tonight called in. I've heard it. I just want to get a couple more calls. I want to hear your voice, you guys. What we're talking about, Hotel California by the Eagles. What's it really about? I'm going to break down the verses for you. And I'm going to do 4 lines. This next 4 lines is on a dark desert highway, cool wind in my hair. What does that mean, you guys? Call me. All right. I know that you guys are putting it in the text over there, and I'm doing everything. Let's see here. I see they're not even talking in Rumble about this. There's not a lot of people out there. You probably may not have even gotten the notification because I did this last minute. I want to start taking the more calls from you guys. I want to hear from you because you need to be heard. All of us need to be heard. They tried to stifle a lot of voices, but we're going to go this way in the near future. So we've got, so it's 563-999-3717. We've got a lot of people out in the chat here on YouTube. They're saying you can check in, but you can't leave. And it's in referencing Amy Boyd is saying, once you sell something, you can't go back, right? So my head grew heavy and my sights grew dim. I had to stop for the night. That kind of tells me, I can read that a couple of different ways. Yeah, so anybody want to call into me, 563-999-3717. Well, I want to hear what you have to say about that. Let's see, if you want to keep it kind of clean, because I am on YouTube right now, that'd be great. So some of the band players from the Eagles basically said nobody was from California. This is a quote. Nobody was from California. If you drive into LA at night, you could see this glow on the horizon of the lights and the images. You start running through your head of Hollywood and all the dreams that you have. So here you are, you got this huge dream, and I'm going to Hollywood, and then boom, right? PJ Tucker is basically saying high as a kite. There are guys are what? I was on the wrong YouTube channel. I'm not sure what that means. All right. So I have 2 YouTube channels out there, you guys. And TTP Coast to Coastal is very small. No one's even signed up for that one. So anyways, oh, here's an interesting, come on, Dragonfly is the one who had surgery on her jaw, so she can't call in, but she now has the wrench. I was able to find her name somehow. I never know how I do anything. I just run into stuff. Story of my life. All right, so I just gave you a quote from one of the Eagles band members who basically was saying, you have this dream, right? And you see all this stuff, and then, you've had this dream for your whole life, and you get into Hollywood, and you just start thinking, okay, this is it. I see the lights, everything is in the horizon, and you just start imagining everything. Okay, so the next phrase here, please call in, 563-999-3717. There she stood in the doorway. I heard the mission bell. And I was thinking to myself, this could be heaven or this could be hell. Then she lit up a candle and she showed me the way. There were voices down the corridor. I thought I heard them say. We know what they say. And you guys probably all have that song going off in your head if you're as old as I am. So, yeah, so this is really interesting. Richard is saying, I've traveled down the highway into Los Angeles and there are hills from all directions. Oh, it's in a valley, huh? All right, so once you get in, you can't get out. Wow. Yeah, so I'm trying to follow Dragonfly because Dragonfly out here is saying it sounds like a senator's son. I don't get that. I'm not making a connection. And Dragonfly, if I knew you could speak, I would have you call in. Then she says, exactly, special treatment, McCain. I'm not sure if she's talking about the song or if she's talking about in reference to something else. So I'm trying to connect the dots with her. Let's see. All right. Let's see what else we have out here. Let's see. I just wanted to talk about that. All right. So she stood in the doorway. I heard the mission bell. Hooker? I don't know. I was thinking to myself, this could be heaven or this could be hell. I think that's kind of obvious. All right. Anybody want to call in and test my lines? Because in the near future, you'll be talking to Selene. You'll be talking next month, I think, to Kristen Lee again. You'll be talking with a lot of other of my guests, and I want you guys to get used to this, and I want to know if the technology works, because the last one with Kristen was really, I felt really bad that I was testing it with her that way. So if anybody, it's the area code 563-999-3717. Just say hello to me. That's all you gotta do. Just say, hey, how you doing? And also too, you'll be talking to Buck on Saturday with this also. Isn't this fun, you guys? Yes, it is. Okay, so Dragonfly is giving me more information. She says, so the song is about a special treatment of a senator's son. I still, somebody help me. Help me, Rhonda. Help me with her trying to understand Dragonfly, because I always thought that this was well, let me just kind of tell you what I get to. And there's something that I can't say the word, but I think there was another person that used to reference it as a party drink. And you know, let's just stay there. So there were a lot of articles written about this song and people speculating about it. And let's see, I just had one. Where I think I lost it. Hold on a second. I'm playing a video and I should have paused it. There we go. So this is coming from something called SF Gate, the dark, terrible secret of the California missions. The California Indians, as a proposal says, I did not have a culture, but they never got the chance to contribute to California. The Spanish crown deceased. I'm not sure what this is, why this is in the song. Let me read ahead here. I think this is just a freaking commercial. Sorry about that. Let's get back to the lyrics. All right, so the next one I'm actually going to do is, so I called up the captain, please bring me my wine. Now this is key. What do you guys think? 563-999-3717. I feel like I'm doing a marathon here. I just called up the captain. Please bring me my wine. This is from Hotel California. If you're just queuing in here. He said, we haven't had that spirit here since 1969. And still those voices are calling far away. Wake you up in the middle of the night just to hear them say. Is that an addiction? What do you guys think here? Richard's been really talking here. Captain equals dealer. Dragonfly, is this a senator? is a captain a senator? My southern, I'm going to put this one up here. Nobody is calling in. Oh, come on, you guys, don't be chicken. Wine is a party drink. I'm thinking, yes, wine is definitely a party drink. Yep, definitely. And if you guys don't take that verbatim, if you know what I mean. All right, so they haven't had that kind of spirit here since 1969. That's another key thing there. Boy, my little puppy is growing fast and her bark is constant now. I'm not quite sure what she is barking at, but let's see here. Won't keep you guys much longer on here. This was just a test video. Let's see here. And still those voices are calling from far away. I'm actually thinking it's their soul, you know, trying to get aligned. Okay, so this is really interesting. This is another quote that was coming from the Egos. It says, you know, they're basically, we're talking about a misinterpretation of the lyrics in a metaphor. That line in the song that has little or nothing to do with alcoholic beverages. Okay, and so I think this is going to go into what my Southern Lifestyle and Friends was just saying on the screen there a minute ago, is that this line in the song has nothing to do with alcoholic beverages. It's a psychopolitical statement. My only regret would have been to explain it in detail to you, and it would defeat the purpose of using literary devices in song writing. So he goes on to talk about it, that he didn't want to argue with people when he went to explain it. But I'm actually thinking it is the party drink. He knew what was going on. He was, you know, how they hide things behind other meetings. I really think that that's what this was truly about. I was in 8th grade, I think, when that song came out. So 1977. Yeah, I remember having a social studies teacher ask us. Now, at that time in my life, the only thing that I ever remembered is I would learn the lyrics of the song, or if I resonated with it, and it was a very popular song. And I didn't pay attention to what the words actually meant. A lot of songs back in the 70s, none of it made sense, right? All right, it says, so I called up the captain, please bring me my wine. Okay, I think I just did that one there. Why they repeated that. Let's see here. So welcome to the Hotel California. Such a lovely place, such a lovely face. They're living it up in the Hotel California. What a nice surprise. Bring your alibis. Well, now you could say Dragonfly. Yeah, that's the senators. Okay, mirrors on the ceiling, the pink champagne on ice. And she said, we're all just prisoners here of our own device. Wow, this is so ugh and deep. And in the master chambers, they gathered for the feast. They stabbed it with their steely knives. I think that's what Richard was saying earlier. But they just can't kill the beast. And if I go back, I think that's what exactly Richard was saying. Come on, I need one of you guys just to call me. Just one more call. I think Richard said that early on. Let me go back. I'm going to check. All right. So Richard's saying he's early on. He said he was going to pass on calling, and I missed that. Sorry about that. Let's see here. What else do we have here? Anybody else out on Rumble? I think I slowed down the chat so I wouldn't miss some stuff. And the military mom is out there. How you doing? Volume is better on YouTube than on Rumble. Interesting. Thanks for that feedback. Colleen is basically saying it makes her think of the Standard Hotel. Yeah, that's probably the truth there, that everybody knew about the Standard Hotel. I didn't until people just tried explaining it. Let's see what else we have here. Anything else? Mirrors on the ceiling. You drink, that's creepy. All right. And basically the way that this actually ends up is they say that they're serving Satan is what this comes down to. Please bring me my wine. We haven't had that spirit since 1969. I'd like a good explanation of that one, but I'm thinking if you think about, and they're actually showing a bottle of wine with a cross on it. I think of the Five Finger Lakes, of all the wine making out there. It's really not about the wine, as you guys could read between what I'm saying here. There could be heaven or this could be hell. That's kind of obvious. And at the end of this video, they actually call it Hellwood. And they were trying to get a message out there about that. 1977, and here we went all these years. Let me just kind of get out of this here, and thanks to whoever is giving me input out there that you can't hear it as well on Rumble. Rumble has been a problem. All right, so that was fun. So you might also want to consider what the Vatican dude did with the wines. Yes. Yeah, so anybody wants to just say hello to me, 563-999-3717. Are you guys going to use this if I get this there? Because we're going to have some awesome guests. It seemed like you guys wanted it with Kristen Lee. And I'm not sure, but yeah. We have Destin Deplorable out there, says, I'm on the road, but wanted to say howdy. Howdy, Destin Deplorable. Good to see you. So I do have a phone number out there if anybody wants to call in and speak to me or my guest in the near future. And apparently it's always going to be this number, 563-999-3717. And I did use my cell phone when Kristen Lee was on here the other day. And by the way, people, calling me at 6:30 in the morning the next day is not cool. And I knew I was taking that chance with my personal phone, but I wanted to test it. So there you go. All right. And by the way, all of you do have caller ID. It says, let's see what we have here. So we're saying goodbye to Dragonfly out there. And I want to thank Celeste Carter. She's my guest tonight at 6:00 p.m. Central Time. Check your time zone. And Celeste Carter is a healer and intuitive. That's going to be another really good show. I've been talking with her on and off I want to say the last 2 weeks, and I really like what she has to say. And then we do have Jackie Chapman coming back on Tuesday. I have on the 17th of June, Terry Salini coming back. And I'm only going to put her on Rumble, as you guys know. And I just got a message this morning on the 20th that Michelle from Michigan will be back. She's had a lot of challenges like the rest of us all had in our personal lives. And I want to also send prayers out to Mayday and her husband. They were still working on their home. It got pelted big time with hail. They replaced their own, they did a lot of their own work. Let's just send prayers that Mayday gets somebody out there to give them a new roof. And really, I mean that because, like I said, we're not young people. And a lot of times she's out in the middle of the Midwest there in the central Kansas, I believe, and she doesn't really have neighbors for miles around. She is out in the country. All right, let's see. AO is in the house. Hello, AO. And I just wanted to let everybody know that the people I have coming on in the near future, you can call in and ask them questions. And somebody asked me about Mike Penny. I'm still sitting on the fence about having truthers back on. I'd rather hear from you guys. That's where we're going, and your voice needs to be heard. And I'm hoping that Hula Hoop and Dr. Ken come back in the near future also. I think Hula Hoop said that she was driving and listening also. So, they brought so much joy to so many people just talking about the work that he does. And both of them together are remarkable people. Oh, wait, it says, I just tried calling in, but I'm out of range for the phone service. That's coming from Hula Hoop. Thank you so much, Hula Hoop. And that's interesting. I don't know where these area codes are, but I don't pick the phone number, and so that's interesting that actually happened. So if you have a cell phone service and you can't call out of state or what have you, I'm sorry about that. But we'll try to figure out something else. Let's see here. I see Janet McCain saying hello. Hello, Janet. How are you doing? What else is going on out on Rumble? So that's my rundown for June. More people are coming back. I put it out to the universe that I'm really only looking for people who are going to tell the truth here, the whole truth and nothing but the truth. And if you're going to fabricate something, I'll call you out on it. That's going to be my way in the near future. Or else just give us more facts and data to base that off of. Show me a video, show me something in writing if you want to come back onto the channel. This is where we're going to go. I have not followed Mike Penny, Brio 19, I think that is, a Bri. I haven't followed any of the truthers out there because I'm just trying to follow myself at this time. And not that there's anything wrong. It's just that things got really wonky there for a while, and a lot of misinformation, and a lot of people are still trying to sort it out. So where we're at right now is we just want the truth. We want the truth. We want the credits. We want to know what the heck is going on. I think a lot of it is being regurgitated at this time out on different social medias because they're still trying to get people to wake up, and there's going to be some that aren't going to be awake, and there's always going to be the few out there. Okay, Hula Hoop says she's out in the boondocks and she has no cell service. Thank you so much, everybody. Oh, hold on. I got a call coming in. Hello. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, hi. I just found your show actually on Blog Talk Radio. It's are you on YouTube right now, or just where are you in live streaming?
Yeah, so I am actually on Blog Talk Radio, and I'm also streaming to social media, multi-streaming. So you are live.
Oh, okay. Okay, great. I know it sounds like you're about to end your program, so I don't know if there's enough time to go over anything, or are you about to end it?
No, you're testing this out for me because I'm trying to see if I can do a Blog Talk and a YouTube and a Rumble channel. So do you have a question? I'd be glad to try to answer it.
Yeah, actually, I got plenty of topics. If you decide you want to keep it going, I'm going to be very entertaining, and I'm going to rile your audience up. Not purposely, but they'll probably get riled up. Just based on what you said so far, correct me if I'm wrong. I just found your show a few minutes ago. You are someone who, I don't know how to put this, 9/11 conspiracy theorist, or?
Yeah, you can call me a tinfoil head. I love it. Thank you.
Oh, I wasn't sure. Some people may not like the label, so I'm trying to put it out there nicely. Okay. When you're saying basically how you want the truth and all that, I don't know you personally. I believe you if you say that, but I have to question is that true? Because especially with the internet today, any question you have, not literally, like if you ask what did George Bush do on this day in his room, you may not get the answer. But on most things that are publicly available, you can find the information right online.
Well, they'll give you the information that they want to give you, so I'm going to kind of debate that with you a little bit. I just kind of think that the internet has been scraped to the point that we're not being told the truth, the whole truth about a lot of different things. And it all depends on what area that you go into about stuff. I mean, are they telling us the truth about what happened 200 years ago? Are they telling us the truth what happened two years ago? That type of thing. I mean, we're all trying to figure it out at this point in time. Nobody has any of the true answers. So that's where I stand.
Okay, so I thought you might say that, and that's fine. Obviously, the internet is whoever makes the internet. In the millions of videos that I played, whether it's a debate, let's say there's a debate between someone who is a non-conspiracy theorist and a conspiracy theorist, right? And they go back and forth. They'll say, here's why I'm right, here's why you're wrong. And the other person will say, here's why I'm right, here's why you're wrong. I've noticed usually, okay, I didn't say, well, not always, but usually at some point in the debate, it'll come down to one of these things. Either we can't trust that information because it came from the government, or we can't trust that information because it came from the media, or we can't trust that information because it came from universities, or the last one, we can't trust that information because it came from Jewish people. So my question to you is, how can anyone prove that maybe you're wrong if everything gets dismissed, or lots of things get dismissed?
Well, what we're all trying to figure out at this particular time is, instead of believing things outside of us, that we have to go in, we have to use our discernment for things, and we have to actually use our own intuition, which a lot of people may not buy into that, but that's where you start. And then you start asking questions in order to be able to say, okay, you basically are going to tell me that the sky is green, and I want you to be able to tell me, how did you come to that conclusion? And whatever your answer may be, I will honor you and just basically bless you and just walk away and know that I know that the sky is not green. So we're all at that point. We're at that point in this life right now that we've seen what the universities have said and done to the children, and so on and so forth. I can go through every one of those topics with you. But the truth of the matter is that we're all trying to determine why we were lied to, and we want the reasons for that. And, we want the real truth to come out about who is running all these administrations for the schools, who is running it for the grade schools, who is, at the top of all the corporations. Are they gone? Are they starting to clean it all up? So we're at that point that nobody has any answers to anything.
No, that I love asking questions. In fact, I have two topics, which if I told you the topics, you might raise an eyebrow and hang up on me. I have topics where I know I'm in the minority, but I ask questions and I try to go by two simple things. What are the facts, and are people being consistent? I try not to debate people on opinions and guesses and beliefs and assumptions, because no one's right or wrong, because it's opinions, guesses, beliefs, and assumptions. But if you get to facts and consistency, then you can try to figure things out better. But having said all that, based on what you told me, when you say the universities have lied and other places have lied, you're not wrong. Lies have happened. But there's two problems with this argument. One, what about the times they don't lie? You can't just dismiss everything. And
right.
Two, what about my original point, which is, no matter how deep in the debate you get on any topic where there's a conspiracy theory, at the end of the day, you can just dismiss everything. So you'll never get the information and you'll never be followed.
Yeah, that's true. So, you're right about that. How much of the information are we being given that is actually, like, say, whatever topic it might be, we're being lied to, let's say 20% and the 80% is true. Why did they twist it? Those are some of the things that we like I see somebody out there making a comment that we become critical thinkers. We have been dummied down for so long, and it's almost as if we're waking up the part of our brain. We always took verbatim. If somebody said something to us, okay, we took it and we walked away and said, okay, that must be the way. It's the authority figure is what we're questioning, and the authority figure may have their own personal agenda in nefarious ways for changing things the way that they did. And I think once we start to realize that and see it and sense it more than anything, we'll realize that we're not being told the truth. But we want the truth to be, we want that to be revealed at this time.
No, but then there's two problems there. Anything in life where there's something that we're not an expert on, we're always like, for example, if you go to the doctor and you're not a medical expert, you rely on one doctor, and if you don't, you rely on multiple doctors. Or if you fix your car, you're not a car expert, you rely on one mechanic or multiple mechanics, or your parents. When you're a kid, you don't know everything in life. You listen to your parents, and you learn from both your parents, and so on. The point I'm making is, any topic where we're not an expert, you can only do two things: nothing or learn from the experts. Now, to the guy in the chat room who says, look, we've been dumbed down, we accept everything, there's truth to that. A lot of people have been dumbed down, and they're just accepting. That's true. And I'm not questioning critical thinking. As I said, I like to do those kind of things. I am a critical thinker. But critical thinking doesn't mean to do this. Dismiss everything and then claim that they're all just liars, or they're just doing it for the money, or something shady. That's not critical thinking. That's just dismissing, and dismissing.
Yeah, and it's not that we're dismissing it. You know, some people use the term, I'm sitting on the fence with that until I get more facts and data. That's what we've all been doing for anybody that has been awake the last 7 years, right? You know, and then what happens as time goes on, more information comes out, and then they basically can then make a decision on what it is that they're, you know, researching or believing, or whether or not it's true or not. I'm not saying that each and every person out there will say, okay, I heard something really bad about this person, so I'm going to dismiss them. You can't do that. That, like you said, that's you know, kind of still being dummied down, if you will. We have to take the information,
Right.
and one of the sayings that I've always had on my show, and I know that you don't know it, is we observe but we don't absorb. And that basically means is that we heard what you are saying, and we'll, you know, or we will decide what to do with that information at another time. This is an information warfare. It's a spiritual warfare, and we're all just at that point right now. We're just trying to figure it out. And I'm not saying that everybody out there is basically lying. I'm saying that the people that I've had on my show, I can prove that they were making things up as they went along because it was for YouTube or Rumble or what have you, and stuff like that. It was all about making money, and you never have to pay for the truth. That's where I stand.
Okay, so then if that's the case, let me ask you. Take any topic where you're not sure what the truth is, okay? It might be called a conspiracy theory topic, whatever the topic is. Suppose hypothetically, just hypothetically, you were wrong. How would someone be able to prove it to you that you were wrong? In other words, what would you need to be proven that you were wrong? Because if you don't trust the government or the media or the universities or whatever, there is no situation that you can set up where you can say, okay, I was wrong. In other words, no one can convince you that you're wrong.
There's so much information out there where so many people are proving that a lot of stuff was nefarious at this time, and that it was all wrong. Now we just want to know what the truth is. We want to weed through that type of scenario that you're describing there. And to go back to what your original question was here is, how do we use, number one, we use in discernment, like I said. And number two is that a lot of people are saying, prove it to me. I'm no longer going to accept what you are saying. And you're saying, well, what if they can't prove it? Then there's no argument, is there?
Actually, no, I take it a step further. No, if they can't prove it, that would be different. If you can't prove it, you can't prove it. I mean, you can find some situations where you can say, what about logic? But that's fine too. But what I'm saying is, there are actually plenty of people who say what you say, but they don't just say, show me the proof, period. They say, I don't trust this person, I don't believe that person, I don't trust this corporation, I don't trust this media, not this government, not this university. They trust nothing. In other words, it's like the movie Memento. Have you ever seen the movie Memento? If you haven't, I'll just describe it quickly. There's a character who can't remember anything past 2 minutes. And at the end of the movie, he finds out he set his situation up in such a way where he lied to himself so he doesn't get new information to know the truth. He just doesn't want to know. And a lot of people, I don't say they don't want to know. I think they want to know, but they have such a mistrust of everything, and they're not analyzing properly or going by all the facts. They pick and choose what they want to go by. So now they can never be wrong in anything, because at the end of the day, just don't trust, dismiss, ignore, and so on.
You know, I agree with you, caller, because of, I think we were all there at one point. I think that the pendulum swung either to the left or to the right, and that has nothing to do with the political whatever, but it was almost as if there was people out there that were basically saying, follow me this way. And then they had a bunch of sheep that still thought that the truthers were telling the truth, if you will. That's just a term. And then they come to find out that maybe that wasn't such the truth. So everybody would say, okay, I believe this person. Then all of a sudden it started to break down. The paradigm started to break down. The information wasn't coming together. And then they got to the point where now they're just, like I said, sitting kind of on the fence until they can come to a conclusion. So what they do is, there's so much information out there that I don't think that people basically say, I don't trust everything and anything anymore. I think that we're a little bit beyond it. We're trusting ourselves. Why would I give my energy and my power away to something outside of myself until I actually understand how I operate, how I learn, how I can interact with you? Does that make sense?
No, it does make sense, but if you just go by, I know you didn't say this exactly, so don't think I'm quoting you, but if you essentially go by your senses and what you can see and hear and touch and all that, you're going to have a lot of problems. You're going to have a lot of risk factors for your health, what's going on in the universe, what your family is doing and all that, because if you just go by simple things like an animal does, there's a lot of things you're not going to know, and there's a lot of dangerous things you're going to set yourself up with.
That's just the beginning of it. So if you basically say that I can't use my intuition, my instincts, my discernment, and then I turn around and I ask you to show me the proof, you think that if I take all of that and I throw it away and you just show me something, you think I'm just going to buy into it? It's a whole formula. There's a lot of variables here in reference to actually understanding what is actually going on, whatever topic it may be. There's not just one particular thing that we use, and we do our own research. So you give me the information and I say, okay, I'll go and look up this university, and I come to find out a lot of different information from you, and that opens up a line of communication with you to say, hey, I'm not aligned with what you're saying because this is what I found. And I think that's where people are at right now. They're just not buying into anything that's being sold to them at this point in time.
No, but that's my point. Remember, you were saying to me earlier that you don't think people are dismissing everything, but then you clearly said right now they're not buying into everything. So if they are not buying into everything and they're saying, look, we have some holes here, there's some problems here, they're cherry picking what they want to go by. They're not going by the whole picture. So to give you an example, if there's an authority that says, we're the experts, okay, this is what happened, and 80% of them say one thing and 20% say another, why would they logically, if they're analyzing, go by the 20%? It makes
well,
no sense.
here, let's just use this example here. There's particular, now I'm on YouTube, so I've got to be very careful. There's a particular thing that happened in 2020 where everybody bought into it, and now what are we finding out right now? Let's use that as an example. Let's get something to dig our teeth into, and what is actually coming out, what's happening in the courts right now, and it happens to do with a pharma, if you will. And so what I'm trying to say to you is that everybody first went to, I'm the sheep, I'm going to go follow it because this is the way authority has taught us to do. And now people are backing off saying, hey, I'm going to question everything and anything until I get some information. What's wrong with questioning people if you don't believe what they are saying? That's what I'm going to ask you.
I'll tell you one. Yeah, sure. I'll give you two answers. One, when things change, when information changes, because there's a million examples and I know in history where the authority tells you one thing and they say, well, you know what, we were wrong, here's the actual thing. That happens. But when that happens, there could be a million reasons why it happens. The problem with the conspiracy theory is they'll say, oh, there was a negative reason. It was because they were money hungry, or they're liars, or they're Jewish, or something like that. The second problem with the argument is when things do change, because again, I'm admitting to you.
Well, see, now you're putting this into categories where you're saying the tinfoil hat people say it this way and somebody else says it that way. I think you're kind of how do I say, you're pigeonholing a lot of different groups, and I have a problem with that. So the system is, and I'm going to read this from one of my followers out there, the system was set up where they don't have to prove anything to anybody. There was a burden of proof on us. Everything is rigged so that we can't get ahead. That's part of the thing that people will say, well, you're now a conspiracy theory because you now become a rebel and you're going against the system. Well, we've seen where the system is. Caller, what part of government do you work in?
Well, see, that right there. Why do you have to assume something negative?
Well, because where you're taking a stance that I'm kind of sensing, and I'm not hearing it from you, but you're almost as if I were to say that you were believing that we have to believe what you have to say in order to go along with the system. That's
Oh, I just want to, let me just clarify a couple things. Just hear me out on this. Have some.
I'll
open
give
minds
you
about
one
this.
more minute, caller,
What I told
because and then I'm going to let you go.
You can never win an argument with nutty people like you because you guys are nuts. And
All right, I guess I wanted to get somebody to call in, and this is what I got. I didn't realize that people were paying attention to me on Black Talk Radio, and yeah, he asked for one question, and so these are the people, and that's fine. I'm open to this, but I wasn't gonna continue to go on and on with him because it just seemed like, when he called me nutty, I think that was the end of the conversation. He's trying to I think somebody put it out there already, is that it was his ego. He was yeah, Dragonfly says wow. So I did the best that I could without losing my cool. I started to lose my cool. When I lose my cool, I don't make sense. So yeah, and Josie was saying Janina was being so patient with him. Janet was saying he just wanted to argue. Yeah, there are people out there that just love to debate, and I'm not a debater by far at all, but yeah. And Dragonfly says he really didn't have any answers out there, and Janet McCain was saying, does he want to argue, or is it just me? He was leading up to it. He came in really smooth, and then he was trying to build his case, and because I wasn't buying into his case, then I become the nut. Okay, all right. Yeah, a starfish, or I'm a starfish, or otherwise known as Colleen, was basically saying I did great. That's fine. From in there, not only that too, his phone number that came up was 11111. It was area code was 111, and then 111, and then the last four numbers were 111. This person knew how to block the calls. Who was he? Have no idea. And yeah, and I did say bye-bye to him. I didn't even say goodbye. I just kind of reached over and saw the X and said, boom, there we go. All right, so if he's still listening, that's all great and what have you, but I'm actually going to hang up and save some time on this and utilize it in another time, because I do have to pay by the calls, or by the hour, I think it is on here. And I'm trying to end the episode. There we go. So all right, so we're no longer on Blog Talk Radio.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
Goodbye. All right, so I didn't know it was going to go this way, but you never know what you're going to get when you have a put your phone number out there, and so this is probably a good lesson for me. If I should have blocked the number, but I just wanted to see what he had to say. And I'm wondering, are you guys coming into contact with people like this also, when you're just trying to stand up for yourself in your own belief systems? Decoder said, good job, Janine. I'm going to cut and paste that one. I did the best that I could. Let's see here. I say, Dragonfly say, I boom, boom, boom. You were awesome. Yeah, let's see here. And Decoder is saying that, and so on and so forth. So in other things here, like I said, yeah, Peggy Sue got married. It was out there, was saying they lie about everything. This particular gentleman did not want to hear me put everything into one category. He was pretty much, I'm not quite sure, I can't think of the word right now, but he was going to argue that if somebody presents you with some information, it's not, and you don't believe it, you're stupid, is basically what he was saying to me. And so there we go. Yeah, let's see here. Yeah, these my Southern Lifestyle and Friends says, yeah, absolutely, these people are everywhere. Not everyone is going to get it, you guys, and this is why I appreciate my community as much as I do. And those are the ones that follow the rules and the regulations and obeyed, right? Those are the ones that definitely obeyed. And if you want to call me a tinfoil hat, a conspiracy theorist, a rebel, thank you so much. All right, I got to go. We have at 6 o'clock tonight a new first-time guest, Celeste Carter, I believe it is, and we're going to use the phone lines again. And if you guys, get used to seeing this up there, I took a lot for just, Celeste was the first one to call in to test it. I know it works. I'm glad it works. And thank you guys, and I'll see you later on this evening in about 4 hours from now. All right, bye-bye. And now we turn the page.